I'm Anish and I'm excited to guide you through today's lesson. Have you ever wondered what actually happens when you type a message and hit enter in an AI chat? Today, we're going to trace the complete journey of your message through AI systems. It's more fascinating than you might think. So you type a message and press enter. Simple, right? But what actually happens behind the scenes is anything but simple. That single action triggers a complex chain of events. Your message goes through multiple processing stages before you see a response. In this course, we'll trace the complete journey from your input to the AI's response. We'll break it down into 6 clear steps. By understanding this process, you'll gain real insight into how AI assistants truly work. Let's dive in and explore each step together. Now, let's begin with the first step in our journey. When you type a message and hit enter, something fascinating happens immediately. This is step 1. Your message leaves your device. The moment you press enter, your typed text is packaged into a data request. Your device, whether it's your phone, laptop, or tablet, is where this journey begins. The text you've typed gets prepared for transmission. Notice the secure HTTPS connection. This encryption ensures your message travels safely across the internet, protecting your privacy and data. Your encrypted message then travels to cloud servers where it joins millions of other requests waiting to be processed. This entire process happens incredibly fast, typically within 50 to 200 milliseconds, which is why the experience feels instantaneous to you. Remember, this is just the beginning of your message's journey. In our next step, we'll see how your text gets broken down for processing. Now that we've seen how your message leaves your device, let's move to step 2, tokenization. This is where your text gets broken down for processing. Here's the key thing to understand. AI doesn't actually read words like we do. It reads tokens, which are numbered chunks of text. Think of it like translating your message into a special machine language. Let me show you a concrete example. When you type "Hello World," the AI might convert that into numbers like 12345678892. Each word or part of a word gets its own token number. Here's an interesting insight. Common words like "the" or "and" get shorter token sequences because they appear so frequently. This makes processing more efficient. This tokenization is the first real translation from human language to machine language. So remember, this is how AI converts your human language into numerical tokens it can actually work with. In our next step, we'll see what happens when the neural network awakens to process these tokens. Now we're at step 3, where the neural network truly awakens to process those tokens we just created. This is where the magic happens. First, billions of parameters activate in parallel simultaneously. Think of this as millions of tiny switches all turning on at once, each one helping the model understand your message from a different angle. Next, attention mechanisms weigh relationships between tokens. This is crucial. The model doesn't just look at each word in isolation, it figures out which words relate to which other words, giving more importance to the most relevant connections. The model also retrieves context from your conversation history. So if you mentioned something earlier in our chat, it remembers and uses that information to give you a more coherent response. Finally, the model predicts what comes next, token by token. It doesn't generate the entire response at once. It builds it sequentially, one token after another, just like how we construct sentences word by word. In our next step, we'll see how these predictions become your actual response. So we've just covered how the neural network processes your message. Now we're at step 4, generating the response. This is where the magic happens, where all those predictions we just discussed turn into actual words you can read. The AI predicts the most probable next token. Remember, a token can be a word, part of a word, or even punctuation. The model calculates probabilities for thousands of possible next tokens and picks the most likely one. Here's the crucial part. Each prediction influences the next. This creates a chain reaction. Once the AI predicts token 1, that becomes part of the context for predicting token 2, and so on. It's like building a sentence where every word you choose affects what comes next. Now, temperature settings control creativity versus accuracy. A lower temperature means the AI plays it safe, picking the most probable tokens for more predictable, accurate responses. A higher temperature introduces more randomness, making the output more creative but potentially less reliable. The response builds character by character, token by token. This happens incredibly fast, usually in milliseconds, which is why it feels instant to you. But behind the scenes, the AI is making hundreds or thousands of these predictions in rapid succession to construct your complete answer. So, to summarize this step, the AI generates your response through a chain of token predictions, influenced by temperature settings, building the answer piece by piece. In our next step, we'll see what safety checks happen before this response reaches you. Now that we've seen how the AI generates a response, let's look at what happens before it reaches you. Step 5 is all about safety filters and review. As you can see here, automated safety systems scan for harmful content. Think of this as a security checkpoint that happens automatically. When the AI generates a response, it doesn't just go straight to you. First, multiple safety filters check it for any policy violations or potentially harmful content. If anything problematic is detected, the system triggers response modifications. This might mean the AI rephrases something or, in rare cases, declines to answer. Here's the amazing part. All of this happens in milliseconds. You don't even notice it's happening. By the time you see the response, it's already been checked. These multiple layers of protection ensure responsible AI. It's like having several safety nets to make sure what you receive is safe and appropriate. So we've now covered how your message goes through tokenization, neural network processing, response generation, and safety filtering. In our final step, we'll see how this response arrives back to you. Now we've reached the final step in our journey. After all that processing, tokenization, neural network computation, and safety filtering, your response is ready to arrive back on your screen. Here's what happens. Those tokens we've been talking about get converted back into human readable text. Remember how your message was broken into tokens? This is essentially the reverse process. But here's something really cool. The response doesn't wait until everything is complete before showing you anything. It streams to your browser in real time. You've probably noticed this when chatting with AI. You see text appear word by word as it's being generated. That's streaming in action. The entire process from your message leaving your device to the complete response appearing on your screen typically takes just 1 to 5 seconds. Pretty impressive when you think about all the complex processing happening behind the scenes. So that's the complete journey, from your keyboard to the cloud and back to your screen. On our next and final page, we'll pull everything together with a comprehensive summary of all 6 steps. As we wrap up today's session, let's summarize the complete journey we've covered, from your initial input all the way to the response arriving on your screen. We started with your input, which travels through the network to the cloud. Then, tokenization breaks your text into manageable pieces, and the neural network processes them to generate a response. After safety filters and text conversion, the response is streamed back to you. All this happens in seconds despite the massive computation involved. This intricate process is the magic behind every AI conversation. I hope you now have a deeper appreciation for what happens when you hit enter. Thank you for your attention and feel free to reach out with any questions.